Hey everyone, Gerard Scarpacey here in Brooklyn, New York at Amika Style Blow with my girl, Naima LaFond.
Hey guys.
You know I always say she's one of my favorite hairdressers because she does incredible things, makes them so simple to explain. Today she's going to share something with you guys that I know is going to blow your mind. It's the double staircase braid.
Yes,
double
staircase
This
braid.
is our beautiful model, Devin. How are you doing today, Devin?
I'm doing well.
Are you ready for the double
Excited.
staircase?
Yes,
Yeah?
I'm ready.
All right, Naima, so show us what you have in mind. What's in store for us today?
Okay, so I had posted the double staircase braid on my Instagram and I had so many questions people were asking, so I wanted to break it down today and use Devin's beautiful hair to do so. So we're starting off with super wet hair because it's really easier to see the braiding technique on wet hair. If you're ever teaching a braiding technique, it's really good to try it on wet hair because you can see all the strands, everything sits well together, but obviously this is a look you can do on wet or dry hair. Okay?
So do you recommend doing it wet for practicing and training on
For
it?
practicing and training on it.
So that's a great tip if you want to
Yes.
get better. And typically, would you say that for most braiding, if you want to get better at it?
All braids except for on the scalp braid.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great tip right there.
Yeah.
So anything that's like in a ponytail or off the
Exactly.
head, but like on close to like cornrows or on the scalp, don't do that.
Cornrows are on the scalp. It can get tricky because like the hair is going to start tangling between your fingers. It's just a lot going on.
So a great way to practice off the scalp, damp
Yes.
hair. How about product? Do you put any product in there?
Yes. So my secret go-to for any kind of like ponytail braids is the Amika Wizard. It's like a detangling spray, like nourishing spray, everything in one, but mainly I use it to detangle the hair. So I have like...
I thought you were the Amika Wizard.
I
They
am?
named that product
They
after
named
you.
it after me?
Yeah. I know everyone's excited. Thank you all for joining. If you have any questions, I've got the camera right here, the phone right here. Naima is a brilliant teacher. She loves to answer your questions. But let's get into this braid straight away.
Okay, so I took a small piece from the back of this ponytail and I'm just going to smooth it with my comb. And we're going to wrap it around the base of the ponytail. I always like to do that when we have a ponytail holder that's showing. Unless your ponytail holder is like super snazzy or cute, I definitely recommend covering it. So once we get to the end, we're going to take a bobby pin, and I have like my braiding arsenal on my hand right here. So you see I have my ponytail holder, a few bobby pins, I have small rubber bands on my fingers. Just because when you're braiding, you're like so in it, it's really hard to like reach out and grab something else. So it's really easy to just put it all on your hand and work that way.
Couple shout outs. Our buddy Tristan Morrison is watching. If anybody out there is a left-hander, Tristan is doing a regular series of left-handed haircutting education. Michael Snyder, Cindy Newton, thanks for the shout out. All right.
Shout out to the left-handers. I'm one.
Are you a lefty?
Yes.
I never realized that because I never see you cut hair.
I'm
So
a
we have a
lefty.
left-handed haircutting series going on. You'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys. So at the end here, I'm just taking the very end, wrap it once around my bobby pin, and just slide it into the base.
So that's just a classic
And actually
trick.
has like little like hairs that are sticking out like that. We're just going to take a regular hairpin. Maybe. Do you have one over there? Yeah, we have one right here.
So just a classic trick for covering up the band.
Yeah,
Keep
just
it cleaner.
super easy. Keep it clean. I'm just gonna adjust it right in there, and boom. We're just gonna cover it up with a little bit of Headstrong hairspray, just to make sure we have a nice hold to it.
Melinda Cannon, the hair doesn't have to be wet for this. Naima was saying in the beginning it's a great way to teach it and to practice it, to see it really clearly because it's so intricate, but the hair does not have to be wet, but it can be. And it's wet with some product here, the Amika Wizard spray, and now adding, what's that you adding?
So we're doing the Hot Mess Texture Gel just for some added sleekness. And I would say the wet look is also great for added sleekness, like if you're doing a client that is like going out for like a special event and doesn't want anything too textured, I would do a wet braid on her as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we covered our ponytail holder. Now we're just gonna split this ponytail in two. Right down the middle, and I like to feel the density of each with my hand just to make sure that we're working with equal parts here.
Devin's got a lot of hair, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
It's great. She has like the perfect braiding hair. I'm going to smooth one side
Did you know
out.
that about yourself, Devin?
I did know that.
Yeah, the perfect braiding hair.
Okay, so we split our two sides. I'm going to grab one side. I'm going to take a small piece of the inside of one of the sides here. So nice and small. You see I'm smoothing it with my hand. And I'm going to just take my right hand here and I'm laying it under this section of hair so that I can grab this small piece and loop it to the back. Okay? I'm going to take my thumb and pointer finger and loop that end through.
It's almost like a little knot.
It's a knot.
Yeah.
Literally, this braid is all about knotting. Like, if you can tie a knot, if you can make a knot, you can totally do this braid.
I can tie a knot, I just can never get them out after I tie it. So if I did this on your hair, you'd have to wear it this way forever.
So we have the strand here now. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go in, grab a small section, smooth it.
And you added that to your previous section that you were
Exactly. So you always want to keep it nice and tight. I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the other side, laying my hand under this section, looping back, and pulling through. Okay.
If you're out there watching, you have any questions for Naima about braiding, please share them. She's a great educator. She does some classes throughout the year, lots of big shows and events for Amika at all these different shows. So this is a great opportunity to get to know her and her style of education.
Yeah, trade show season's coming up.
Yeah, it is.
Long Beach's first up, right?
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah. Okay, see that knot again? So when you're working with hair that has some layers, you're gonna have some shorter pieces. So what I like to do is just take the longer pieces and kind of wrap them around the shorter pieces. So kind of to help prevent them from poking out, okay? We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Grab a small piece.
You have a big fan of Gregory Patterson. He says he loves you.
Gregory and I used to work together. He's so amazing.
Right on.
Yes, he's been there with me from the beginning.
Right on. And as you get into this, I want you to talk a little bit about the beginning of your career as you start to get the demonstration out there, because I find it so interesting how you started.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to tell my story because I feel like everyone thinks that it's can only go one way and there's only like one path, but there are many ways. Okay, so we're grabbing additional hair, and as you can see, every time I get to that middle, I give it a nice tug to keep it nice and firm and tight. Go around to the back, loop to the back, and pull through. And you see when I pull through, her little layers came out. I'll just smooth them back. Okay, and then we'll go in again. Grab another side, combine it with that center piece, pull tight, hand behind, back here. If you're getting the two pieces mixed up, it's always good to just lay it on one shoulder. Make things a lot easier.
Some more shout outs. Anna Pacito is watching. Hey Anna, we always love when you join us.
Hi.
And have you guys ever met Naima? Have you ever met Anna?
I don't think so.
You'll have to. You guys, you're both amazing, powerful female hairdressers, great role models for everyone out there. Is Amika going to be at IBS New York this year?
Yes, and I think I'm going to be on main stage at IBS New York this year. So hope you guys come and check it out. It's my first time doing main stage in New York. So that should be really fun. A lot of familiar faces in the crowd.
That's the hometown.
Hometown.
Sorry about the sirens, guys. We're in Brooklyn right now, so there's a little police activity on the streets. It seems like it's moved on now. For those of you just joining us, we're at Amika Style Blow, which is Amika's salon that's right here in Williamsburg. Amika is a Williamsburg-Brooklyn-based brand, and this is kind of their
it's our flagship store.
Yeah, flagship salon store.
All right, so as you can see, we're getting through this braid, and the more I knot, you're starting to see like the intricacy of the braid. If you get any like little guys like this, again, you can always go in with a small hairpin and just secure it.
Yeah, again, for those of you that are just joining, Naima chose to do this on damp hair. It's damp with the Amika Wizard spray, and she's got a little bit of working gel here. It's easier to teach, so you can see how clean and organized it is. It doesn't have to be done on wet hair. It can be done on dry hair.
Totally can be done on dry hair. Just know that on dry hair, it's probably going to have a little bit more texture to it. On wet hair, it's a little bit sleeker. So it all depends on the end result that you're going for. Okay, Okay, we're gonna again come through the back and pull through. And like I said, every time you get your extras here, just pull them out. Okay, so now you can see the braid is really starting to come together here.
Question coming in from Sky Vega. Is this easy for the client to take down?
So easy. Oh my gosh, I'm
Really?
glad you asked that. I always laugh because that's one of like the craziest comments that I see.
Yeah, like it's gonna be
People are
stuck
like,
in
yeah, it's cute, but imagine taking that down. It's so easy. It's literally like run your finger through each loop
right
and
through the middle.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it just comes right out.
It's
Well,
just a
that's
matter of undoing the elastic.
I mean, and when you do something like this on a client, is that something you explain to them, how to take it down?
Yes, you can totally explain to them how to take it down. And again, it's a loop, not necessarily a knot. So it's just loop through so you can easily just like undo it.
Now, how did you learn something like this? Is this something you created, or is this a braid you learned from somewhere else?
It's definitely something I created. I started doing the regular staircase braid, and I
just
learned.
the regular one. I got it.
But the
But
staircase
you wanted
braid,
a double stair. It's like old Dynasty. You had to have a double staircase.
the staircase braid was actually not a braid that I learned. It was actually like a technique I used to do on lanyard when I was like in grade school. And I figured, hey, if you can do it on like strings of lanyard, I'm sure it can happen on hair.
Right.
So I grabbed my trusty mannequin head, and there was created the staircase
Yeah, we've
braid.
heard that before. I think when Kelly was in Montreal, someone was doing like a braiding technique, and people said, "Oh, it's just like doing a lanyard."
Yeah.
Which I've never done, but it made
Really?
sense to me. That wasn't really that crafty. You know?
I guess I kind of saw I should be a hairstylist from then because I was like obsessed with lanyard and all of the braiding or knotting techniques that
Well,
came with it.
That's a cool segue because, as we mentioned earlier, you know, you came to hairdressing in kind of a different way. A lot of us went the traditional route. We went to school, we became apprentices very young, and we did all this kind of training. You came in kind of in a different way. Can you tell a little bit about your background?
I came in through the back door. So I first started doing some editorial work because my best friend was an aspiring model at the time. So she just asked me to come and like do one of the photo shoots with her. And at the time I was working at the DA's office. You know, I had gone to college and was, you know, had a serious job, quote unquote. But I did my first photo shoot and I like completely fell in love.
So you were just her friend, you knew how to do hair
Yeah.
good, and she was like, "Can you come with me and be my hairdresser at this photo shoot?"
Exactly.
Amazing. And then you decided, hey, this is maybe the career for me instead of working in the DA's office?
Well, I was doing the photo shoots like kind of like on the side while I was working at the DA's office, and then I started to get published, and I was like, this is awkward. Like,
Yeah.
I work at the DA's office, serious place.
And
I'm
you
like,
get a phone call from the cosmetology board.
Yeah.
Hey,
and I was like, before it comes to that point and people are like calling me out, I need to like go to beauty school. And even more than, I just wanted to like get a nice foundation for my career. And I went to Innovative Institute. It was Carson Institute at the time.
great
And
place to start your career.
yeah, it was great. It was like hair boot camp, which I loved. It was like super serious. Yeah, and that's how I started my career.
Amazing. I love that story. So lots of love coming in. Cindy Bryant says, this is beautiful. Finbar Joe Bain Blair says, very cool. Our buddy Frank Mussolino is joining. Frank, I want to see you do this braid.
Hey,
Me
Frank.
and you together. With four hands, we probably couldn't do this. So let's get back into the technique, the
Yes.
double staircase braid. It looks like it's really starting to develop now.
Yes. So we're still working through the middle here. We have that one strand that we add here to, let's say you guys are just tuning in right now, you can still catch on. We just split the ponytail in two, took a piece from one side, let's pretend that's the piece from this side, right? Add a piece from the other side to it. Swing this little piece to the back like a loop like this, and just bring the end through. And again, any little like layers that fall out are fine.
Hair Candy says you're the braid goddess. You're amazing. Frank Mussolino says one day you and I, Frank, we'll try this. Naima will do a private class for us.
Yes.
That
Jeremy
lasts all
Hickson
day
is
long.
watching. What's up, Jeremy? Always a pleasure to have you join us here. Naima's doing the double staircase braid, which is just so. I mean, basically, you have to just learn this one movement and then do
It's
it repetitively,
exactly
consistently.
one movement. So I want to take this up a notch since you guys are like tuned in, and I want to like take it to the next level.
Right on.
I want to turn this into another braid. So I'm gonna just take this very last piece here and swing it to the back, right? And I'm gonna take my ponytail holder that I have here.
I thought that elastic was gonna snap for sure.
And we're just securing, it may or may not. Okay. We're gonna, again, cover our elastic. My mini pet peeve. So tiny piece for this one because it's a tiny elastic. Okay. Small bobby pin. Wrap around twice. And we're just going to push this down into the braid until you don't see it anymore. Okay? So now we're going to move on to another braid. So we want to transform this into 2 braids. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece from the back here. And this piece back here, I want to separate it in 2. Done.
So starting off through the top with the double staircase braid, which was kind of one pattern, and now starting to move into something a little bit different, just to give it a little bit more flair, Naima?
See? Yep, the piece from the back, I separated it in 2, right? Mm-hmm. And we bring it around towards the front. Mm-hmm. And we tie a knot. Okay? We bring that knot to the back. Back here. Add some hair to it. We separate that in 2. And we cross them. So we tied a knot in the front, brought it towards the back, added hair to it, crossed it.
And that was a healthy amount of hair.
Yes, because you want it nice and chunky for this part. And I'm going to tie another knot.
Lots of love coming in. Gregory Patterson loves the modern texture from the layers, the separation within the braid.
Yeah, you just have to embrace it. I don't like to have super perfect hair. So I really don't mind pieces coming out. I feel like it definitely, like Gregory says, gives it a modern touch. And when braids are too perfect, it looks like you're like a 5-year-old.
Does it stress you out? It stresses you.
Yeah, it just makes it look so kindergarten. So a few strays are
put those
a good thing.
Those little, they used to look like plastic gumballs.
Yeah, beads at the end. Okay, so we did 3. So we started off with the double staircase, and then we ended it off with the knot braid, and that's just 3 of them. And just gonna cross it one more time before I secure it with my rubber band. Again, using all of my tools, keeping them on one hand so that I don't have to reach for them.
So lots of people just joined. We've got a huge audience watching. Just want to let everyone know where we are. We're in Williamsburg, Brooklyn at Amika Style Blow with the Amika Global Creative Director, Naima LaFond. She's sharing with us some of her fun braiding techniques. She did the double staircase braid and then changed it. What did you change it into? What was that second technique?
So this was the knot braid, because instead of ending the double staircase braid just like that, I wanted to give it a little bit of flair, take it up a notch, and end it with the knot braid. So it's just knotting 2 strands of hair, bringing them to the back, crossing them, knot again, bring it to the back, add hair, cross them, knot again. And it's just a nice way to kind of close off the ponytail instead of just leaving a ponytail holder there by itself.
Cool. Great way to finish that off.
So now the ends are wet, and I want to add a little bit of texture to that. So I'm going to just take a little bit of the Amika Hot Mess Texture Gel.
Hot Mess Texture Gel.
Hot Mess Texture Gel. So we use the Hot Mess to sleek on the base of the ponytail and on the braid itself. But this texture gel is great for 2 different things. It's great to add texture and great to sleek. So
we hear there are a lot of exciting things happening with Amika. Can you talk a little bit about that, or is that top secret stuff?
It's top secret.
Okay. Well, just be on the lookout, guys. Amika has huge things launching within the next couple of months, and they always do. This is one brand that's constantly putting out new things, so we'll be excited.
One thing I can tell you I'm excited about is the Marcel that we came out with this year.
Oh, yes.
I just feel like such a classic
I need.
And it's so beautiful. Like
beautiful.
when it was created, I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
I've been like waiting for like a really good
That is a
high
nice
quality
looking Marcel.
Marcel, and it's just a So
That's very nice. I need to
favorite
put that
tool.
on my Christmas list.
done.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you have it, the double staircase and the knot braid.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time with us, Naima. I always love
Thank
spending
you
time
so
with you.
much. You guys
Let's see
are
Devin
awesome.
from the front.
Hey, Devin.
Thank you, Devin, for being our model.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. And as you know, we're doing this all the time. We're trying to do at least one broadcast a day. So keep your eyes peeled for what's up next. Does anybody remember what's next? It's hard to keep track. Courtney, do you know what's next on our HB Live schedule? Julian Pro and Giro, Thursday. Live from LA in the morning. We'll get to see some education. Great spending time with you, Naima. Courtney Bright is joining us. Thanks, Lindsay, for having us. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace out.